Stalingrad was the bloodiest battle in human history and the decisive turning point on the Eastern Front. Between August 1942 and February 1943, Axis and Soviet forces suffered over 2 million total casualties, including killed, wounded, and captured. The German Sixth Army advanced deep into the city, but became trapped in brutal urban combat, where tanks, artillery, and air power lost much of their advantage. In November 1942, the Red Army launched Operation Uranus, encircling more than 300,000 Axis troops. Hitler forbade retreat. By February 1943, the encircled army collapsed from starvation, exposure, and sustained Soviet attacks. Stalingrad permanently shattered German offensive capability in the east and forced Germany into a strategic defensive posture it never recovered from. The Battle of Midway was the most decisive naval battle of the Pacific War. Fought in June 1942, it lasted only 4 days, but its outcome reshaped the conflict. Using intelligence breakthroughs, the United States anticipated Japan's attack and prepared an ambush. In a single day, American carrier aircraft sank 4 Japanese fleet carriers while losing 1 carrier in return. Japan also lost more than 300 aircraft and many of its most experienced naval pilots, losses it could not replace. Midway destroyed Japan's ability to conduct large-scale offensive operations and shifted the strategic initiative permanently to the United States. From this point forward, Japan fought a defensive war across the Pacific. El Alamein marked the decisive turning point in the North African Campaign. Fought in October and November 1942, it involved approximately 300,000 troops across a narrow front between the Mediterranean Sea and impassable desert. British forces under General Montgomery launched a sustained offensive against Axis troops led by Erwin Rommel. Superior logistics, numerical advantage, and overwhelming artillery gradually broke Axis defenses. Axis forces suffered over 50,000 casualties and were forced into retreat. El Alamein ended Axis ambitions in the Middle East, secured Allied control of the Suez Canal, and opened the path for the invasion of Italy. Strategically, it marked the first major, undeniable land victory for the Western Allies. The Normandy landings opened a permanent Western front in Europe. On June 6, 1944, Allied forces landed 156,000 troops across 5 beaches in northern France, supported by thousands of ships and aircraft. Despite heavy resistance, especially at Omaha Beach, the landings succeeded in establishing a foothold. Over the following weeks, Allied forces expanded the beachhead, eventually breaking out into France. The Normandy campaign resulted in over 425,000 total casualties on both sides. Normandy forced Germany into a 2-front war against industrially superior enemies. From this moment on, Germany faced inevitable strategic collapse as Allied forces advanced from both west and east. Final collapse of Nazi Germany. In April 1945, the Soviet Union launched a massive assault involving over 2.5 million troops supported by artillery and armor. German defenses consisted largely of exhausted units, teenagers, and elderly conscripts. Urban combat devastated the city. Civilian casualties were immense, and total deaths exceeded 300,000. On April 30th, Adolf Hitler committed suicide as Soviet forces closed in on the city center. Berlin fell on May 2nd, 1945. Within days, Germany surrendered unconditionally. The war in Europe ended, leaving the continent devastated and reshaped for decades to come.